how many times have we seen, their behavior on display long before Marjorie Taylor Greene called Joe Biden a liar in the State of the Union? Again, I allude back to the Mike Pence thing when they got up and left. That was how many years ago?
We finally have people who are playing by their playbook.
Yeah.
That's what happened, right? It's not the reverse. They have been setting the precedent for a very long time. We have a couple people who are like, oh, fine, if these are your rules, I'll play by them. But don't act like we're the ones who are constantly, shouting down people.
Yeah. What was it that Eric Holder said? When they go low, we kick them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, Mike Obama said that when they go low, we go high. And then Eric Holder says, when they go low, we kick them. And so Maxine impeach Waters said that you got to harass them wherever they are in public, in the restaurants and everything else. So now you're getting some of that same stuff where we say, yeah, we're going to call you out on your bullshit. Mm-hmm. It's not, free speech is one thing. Yes, you have the right to protest. You can heckle to the degree that you can get away with it. Right? Mm-hmm. You come to one of my shows and you heckle me, that's not under your free speech clause in the First Amendment. We're going to have security escort you out. We had that happen last week. Had a guy who had a little too much, and he wanted to be part of the show. And he wanted to show me his boobs, and he had them. He stood up right in the middle of a sold-out crowd, down below the balcony, right in the center, right here.
How did you not tell me this?
And he wanted, it happens, it happens so often that where every now and then you always have the drunk guy that wants to be part of the show. He thinks that his conversation is relevant to what's happening on the stage, and you're his buddy, because they feel like they know you. And I'm glad for that. And I can handle a time or two with the exchange, but when suddenly it becomes about you, and there's people who have purchased a ticket to be in there. They didn't pay a ticket to come see you, bozo. And so this guy, he stands up, because I'm doing the joke about Nancy Pelosi's boobs. Well, he stands up and just does his whole thing. And I'm like, because I do that thing about I want to see all the nipples. He does the thing. I'm like, I don't want to see your nipples, buddy. And so we had a little thing. Well, then he gets out. He's like, keeps standing up to say things. I'm like, all right, sit down, shut the F up.
Oh, my God.
Because after a while, it's like, shut up.
Yeah.
And then he comes down front and wants to take a selfie with me while I'm on stage, turns around to the deal. So anyway, I'm like, They took him out. You exercised your free speech, and it wasn't free. There were consequences. It cost you a ticket. No refunds. You're out. And that's true whenever you're at a college. I mean, you're at a college campus, and you're in a deal like this. You're paying to be there. Mm-hmm. You're paying a lot to be there. And I know you think the government's going to bail you out and pay your tuition. That ain't going to happen either. You're paying to be there. So when there's consequences for what you've done, it wasn't a free speech.
Right.
You paid to be there. You pay to have those heated exchanges.
It is very troubling to me to have so many people in this country who seem to be well educated. They go to these Ivy League schools. They're paying all of this money to be educated, and by the end of it, they still don't quite grasp what freedom of speech really means.
Well, watch Michael Knowles or Charlie Kirk on a college campus.
Right.
And they go out there, and the biggest thing that those guys do when they go to these I'm still burping. When they go to these campuses is they expose the lack of common sense. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of intellect there. Mm-hmm. You can pass the book learning. You know what I'm saying?
But they don't even have that.
Not anymore.
For arguably one of the most important tenets of our country, they don't even know.
Yeah.
They're going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, essentially, in some of these really elite schools to graduate and still not understand that freedom of speech doesn't mean you can say whatever you want, wherever you want, with no consequences.
Well, Sonny Hostin, who's going to get on there and say, I'm a lawyer.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And I'm like, I know that you think that makes you sound smart when you say, I'm an attorney. I've known a lot of attorneys. Not a lot of smart attorneys.
Yeah.
I know there's a few. There's some good ones out there. But there's a reason why most people don't trust attorneys. I get on to my attorney all the time. I'm like, quit with that bullshit. I say, my attorney actually told me on the phone 2 weeks ago, he said, you're the only client I've ever had that I believe is smarter than me.
Wow.
And I said, well, then I want a refund.
Tell him now.
I'm sorry for cussing like that.
I'm going to charge you billable hours then.
Yeah. Quit calling me for advice, bruh. Got a great attorney. But I was talking to him 2 weeks ago. He goes, honestly, I've told people, he said, Chad, you're not going to pull anything over on Chad when it comes to business. If you're trying to manipulate him, you're not going to be able to, because I'm telling you, that dude is shrewd. And I hope he's right. I try to be. You know me well enough to know how many times I've been taken advantage of out of the graciousness of my own heart. But at least I knew I was being taken advantage of, and I gave people enough rope till eventually they hung themselves.
Yeah.
And they always hang themselves.
They do.
They always hang themselves.
Sometimes it takes too long.
Sometimes it costs me too much.
I get a little impatient.
Yeah.
But.
So to sit there and say, I'm an attorney, yeah.
An attorney who still can't quite grasp the First Amendment.
First Amendment.
Okay.
Don't have a clue what that means.